difference between a good witch and a bad witch? How does Hollywood and social media portray witches? And what does the Catholic Church have to say about witches and witchcraft? Join me for this episode in my series, Unpacking the New Age. Let's take a look at the most famous witches from books and film. And that's the witches from The Wizard of Oz and the 2024 movie Wicked. In the 1939 family musical film, which by the way is the most watched film according to the U.S. Library of Congress, the main character, Dorothy, played by Judy Garland, gets taken up in her house by a tornado, which then comes down in an unknown land. And Dorothy is greeted by a good witch named Glinda and explains that Dorothy has landed in Munchkinland, in the land of Oz. There's a big celebration going on because the house landed on the Wicked Witch of the East and killed her. Her sister, the Wicked Witch of the West, suddenly appears. Before she can seize her deceased sister's ruby slippers, Glinda magically transports them onto Dorothy's feet and tells her not to take them off. The Wicked Witch then leaves without any power in Munchkinland, but with a message. Glinda tells Dorothy to follow the yellow brick road to the Emerald City to ask the wizard for help to return home. Let's take a look at how these two witches are portrayed. Glinda, the good witch, is beautiful, sweet, gentle, comforting, assuming a maternal role for Dorothy. Looking at the costuming of Glinda in the classic movie, it appears she has wings and looks like an angel. The Wicked Witch of the West, however, is ugly, mean, green, frightening, revengeful, and out to terrorize Dorothy and her friends. We can't help but look upon Glinda as a protector and a source of comfort and love. The Wicked Witch, however, is portrayed as the classic evil woman, scorned, ugly in body and spirit, out to intimidate, seeking revenge for past hurts, someone that will destroy anyone that gets in her way. Now let's look at how the same witches are portrayed in the new 2024 movie, Wicked. Glinda is still beautiful and yes, oh so popular. Dressed perfectly in shades of pink with a sparkling tiara and a spectacular wand. Glinda, played by Ariana Grande, comes off as a self-centered, self-absorbed prima donna who's used to adorers and admirers falling at her feet. The Wicked Witch is revealed to be Elphaba Throp, played by Cynthia Erivo, and is described by Google as a misunderstood girl with emerald skin and powerful magical ability. Ostracized for her appearance, she becomes the infamous Wicked Witch of the West. The story is set in Oz before Dorothy's arrival from Kansas, and it follows Elphaba and Glinda, who become roommates and friends at Shiz University, a prestigious school of advanced magic and sciences. As you can see by the description in Wicked, the essence of who these characters are has been explored quite a bit differently than in the original movie. In viewing the movie Wicked, the audience can't help but immediately be drawn with pity for Elphaba, especially for the abuse she endures from her father and by other children. Glinda, on the other hand, although beautiful, carries an arrogance and an expectation that she's owed undivided attention, and basically she is entitled to anything she wants. It seems the tables are turned. Glinda is shallow and self-centered, and Elphaba gains our sympathy, having been wronged by life and attributing her wickedness as a retribution for being dealt an unfortunate set of circumstances. But wait a minute, you're talking about two characters who, despite being good or bad, are both witches. Google's definition of a witch is a person who uses magical entities or powers to harm others, a practitioner of witchcraft, magic, or sorcery, a woman who is believed to have magical powers. Even though the two witches in these stories are fictional, and most adults can differentiate between fact and fiction, it's the young people we should be concerned about. It's the normalizing of witches as these two characters that young people are drawn to identify with who they are, and the means of what they use, such as spells and incantations, and that power they are implied to possess. That becomes problematic. Did you know that there is a huge following on TikTok under the hashtag Witch Talk? According to Google, Witch Talk is considered a very large subculture accumulating billions of views, making it significant on the platform. Some reports state that the hashtag has garnered over 30 billion views, showcasing the widespread reach of this type of content. A proclaimed witch on TikTok said, "We live in this very intense dark age. People want to connect to something larger than themselves, something that helps them feel like there's a purpose, and magic does that. Magic is a way to align with your purpose, your power." And that's the problem in a nutshell. Remember the Emperor from Star Wars? The Catholic Church views witchcraft as a serious sin and an offense against the first commandment. The church teaches that witchcraft is evil because it stems from a desire to control reality and manipulate others rather than trusting in God. An article in Catholic Answers about witches says, "The more people try to turn away from God, the more they go seeking Him in all the wrong places." I've seen a rush of interest, folks looking to the stars, to nature, to crystals, cards, and potions for meaning and answers, and rooting. "There's no magic involved," he said. "I bring in the power and glory of Jesus Christ, but most of the time, people treat us like magicians. People have to be willing to pray and draw closer to God. The power of God is greater than the power of evil. If we stay away from the occult, go to Mass, have faith in God, and pray, Father Lambert says that we are protected and evil will bounce off of us. The devil is already on the run if you're going to church, especially if you're receiving communion. A relationship with God is what gives us true freedom." Father Lambert said, "The freedom doesn't mean we get to do whatever we want. He said it means having the freedom to be obedient to God, otherwise we become slaves to our own passions." So my friends, let's be vigilant today and be ready to help fight against these new age practices that are very prevalent in today's world. Be ready to dispel the myths of the new age and be the role models of holiness and virtue for those around us, especially the young. How can we do this? Pray the rosary, go to Mass, read scripture daily, go to confession, receive the sacraments, go to adoration, recite the St. Michael the Archangel prayer daily, and radiate the joy of Christ. Let's end this video with Proverbs 3:5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Thanks for watching, and until next time, be filled with the joy of Christ.